Welcome everyone to your full moon in Aquarius reading. Now Aquarius is an air sign. It has the traits of originality and vision. It's ruled by Uranus, which is about rebellion, upheaval, eccentricity. Now this full moon will fall in different houses depending on your rising sign. So I do recommend for these moon readings that you do look at your rising sign first and then your sun sign after that. If you feel drawn, you can also look for your moon sign. So I'll leave that completely up to how you feel. Now, just a bit of a note with the full moon. The full moon is about, it's the clarification and the results from questions, dreams, intentions that you set at the last new moon. It's also a time for gratitude and forgiveness. It's a time to let go of what hasn't been working, what is no longer working, what just hasn't worked. And it's a time of acceptance of where you are right now, where you find yourself now. So I hope you enjoy these readings, take them as they resonate, and if you do like them, please remember to hit the like button, and if you are so drawn, please remember to subscribe so you help my little channel to grow. Let's get into the readings. Hello Aries, welcome to your full moon reading for this month. So this full moon is in Aquarius, which falls in your 11th house. Now the 11th house is ruled by Uranus. So the 11th house is the house of Aquarius. So that's quite interesting for you. And the influences of this house are friends, groups, goals, aspirations, networks, networking, hopes and wishes, and anything to do with the internet. Okay, let's get started with your reading. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Aries for this full moon in Aquarius? So this full moon is, depending where you are in the world, it's the 11th or 12th of August. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Aries for this full moon in Aquarius? Very feminine energy. So Queen of Swords and the High Priestess. Actually, I'm going to take that one. And this. Actually, I'll take both of those. That's fine. Spirit has lots of messages for you, Aries. Lots of cards that want to jump out. Let's have a look. New moon in Aries. Nice. Okay, so okay, Aries, just bear with me. I just grab the energies for the reading. Quite an interesting mix of cards you have here. Okay, so the first card is the Gibbonus Moon. You're very close to achieving your goal. So remember, for you, this full moon in Aquarius falls in your 11th house, which is friends, groups, goals, aspirations, networks, your dreams, your hopes and wishes. So this is just confirmation that whatever you've been trying to achieve, whatever goals you've set in motion, if you're hitting a hurdle, don't stop. And we've got the new moon in Aries, and it says it's time to take action. So maybe whatever intentions you set at the new moon in Aries at the beginning of this year, or earlier on in this year, it would have been in Aries season, have a look, because they might actually be now coming to fruition. And it's not a time to stop. It's not a time to give up, I want to say. Keep going. Because the new moon in Aries is telling us that there's still actions to be done. It's time to take action. And I feel like it's not new action, it's you just got to keep going. I often, when I see this Moonology card, I always feel like I'm in the forest looking up at the moon. And as you can imagine, on a night, as you're down in the forest, it'd be dark in the forest, and when you look up, you see this moon offering clarity. And I find that when I look at this card, I often find myself feeling like I'm looking up at the moon and I'm trying to gain clarity. So I find that when I pull this card, it's more often than not to show us, okay, maybe we've hit a little bump in the road, a little roadblock, and we're not quite sure which direction to go in. The Queen of Swords is here. We might not have that clarity that we're so looking for. But Spirit here is to say that roadblock is just maybe to make you course correct a little bit, but definitely not to stop. So keep taking action on your hopes and wishes. Keep, allow those aspirations that you have, those goals that you have, to keep driving you forward. And maybe even allow, again, the 11th house is your friends and groups. So allow your network, the people that you network with, the people that are around you, allow them to help, because maybe answers will come from groups or from networking, from friends. So I feel maybe if you do have a decision that you can't quite decide how to make, or you're not quite sure how to overcome this obstacle that you might find yourself up against, and maybe talk to your friends, because they might have a really good advice for you in this time. We have ascending the mountain, keep going forward. So they just tie in so much together. It's not new action that's needed. It's just keep going, keep doing what you've been doing, because that's what's going to get you there. And I feel that, you might be coming up to, a bit of a steeper climb, but don't give up. Definitely don't give up, Aries. Everything in this reading is saying keep moving forward. We have the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess. And the Queens for me is that feminine energy of receiving. And I find the Queens always receive. So the Queen of Swords is receiving clarity, which then allows you to make clear and concise decisions. And the Queen is here to say clarity will come. The fog or the clouds will clear, the darkness will turn to day, and clarity will come. And the High Priestess here is here, I feel, to also remind you that in that darkness, go within. There's the clarity within you. So you might not necessarily, or you probably don't see the path ahead, but maybe the next step is a step you need to take within yourself to change or to move you forward, if that makes sense, Aries. So the High Priestess is sort of what's hidden, and I always find, to me, she always guides me to look inside, to find the answers within me. So do you have a knowing that you just don't know why you know, but you just know something, or you just instinctively trust? Even though if somebody said, well, why? You wouldn't be able to give them a logical answer, but you just know that you trust. That's where your clarity is going to come from. And I think because we're talking about your 11th house and with these friends and groups, I feel that your friends or the people around you are going to, they're not going to necessarily see your vision, but they probably won't ask you to explain this knowing. They'll probably more likely say, trust it. I feel that friends will have good advice for you in this time. So the full moon reading is basically from full moon to new moon, but then also it rolls over to the next full moon. So it's pretty much a monthly reading with guidance to the new moon, and then, you know, still insights after that new moon. So your friends this month, in this 4-week period between the full moons, I think will help you. They might just help you to stay grounded. They might just help you to stay focused. But I really feel that they're going to help you, Aries. And then 2 cards wanted to come out for the Angel Wisdom Tarot, and we have the Ace of Swords and the 4 of Swords. So very swords. We've got the Queen of Swords here as well. So very much clarity. So I feel that, you know, whatever this bump in the road might be, it just might be because it's gotten a little dark again and you're a bit unsure of the next step, or you might be questioning, oh, have I done the right thing? Spirit saying, yes, you have, keep going. So for the Ace of Swords, it says, brilliant ideas that may need refinement, overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out, communicate clearly and concisely, remain objective. And the 4 of Swords says, insights that come from meditation, the need to rest or take a vacation, allow yourself more time before making a decision, mental exhaustion, get more sleep. So together they work beautifully. The aces for me are the universe offering. And this is, the Queen of Swords is ready to receive. So with the 4 of Swords, put yourself in a position of quiet and slowing down. Still moving forward, but no, there's no rush. You know, you can't run up a mountain. You know, just conserve your energy is kind of what I'm drawn to say, really. So the universe is going to offer you that clarity. It's going to offer you insight. And I love the way it says here that brilliant ideas may need refinement. So maybe the course correction that I mentioned earlier might not actually be in, you know, saying don't do anything different, but I said you might need course correction, but maybe it's just in the planning, the whole, you know, pinpointing exactly where you're going, or how you're going. Is there a smarter way of taking action? Can you maybe, with the Four of Swords here, can you do less but still not, sorry, what I'm trying to say, Aries, is can you do less but still have that integrity of the action intact, if that makes sense, you know, without cutting corners in a negative way, you know, giving less. So clarity is coming. No, and I think the clarity is going to, the full moon will give you clarity, or it's around the full moon that somebody's going to say something and give you that aha moment. That's often how the universe works. You'll listen to a song and it'll have, oh my gosh, just exactly what you needed to hear, or you'll see a sign, or somebody will say something and you'll be like, wow. It might even just come to you. You've got the High Priestess here. This is you doing your inner work. It might just come to you in a meditation, or it might come to you while you're sleeping or resting or having a quiet moment. So a lot of clarity here for you, Aries. I don't know what question or pathway you might be going in, but know that if you're feeling a little bit like you're stumbling in the dark, know that clarity is coming. You're just going up a little bit of a steep side of the mountain, but know that you're nearly there. And sometimes it's darkest before dawn, they say. So sometimes I think, you know, we feel we're the furthest away from our goal when we're actually the closest we've ever been. So Aries, with that in mind, I wish you a beautiful full moon. Remember to do your gratitude, your forgiveness, and your letting go and accepting kind of journaling if you journal, or just spend time in contemplation or meditation on that. I wish you a beautiful full moon. Take care, Aries. Love and light. Bye-bye.